It's your startup.
Hi everyone, it's Loner Gale. I have been under the weather for the past couple of weeks, but I'm feeling much better now. And so I thought I would just stop by and just share a quick word with you. As you know, this channel is about supporting startups through branding and funding resources. So today I thought I would just focus on a particular group of startups, namely self-employed persons and gig workers. When we say self-employed persons and gig workers, who are we referring to exactly? Well, that list includes, but is not limited to, contractors, maybe electricians, plumbers, rideshare drivers such as Uber and Lyft drivers, and so forth. I think you get the idea. Now, you may ask, why this particular group? Well, my answer would be, why not? I did some research on why small businesses fail, and the most common factor across the board was the lack of working capital, or more importantly, the inability to obtain working capital. Granted, lack of funding is not the only reason why some small businesses fail, right? For the purpose of this video, I am going to focus on that for a bit. To begin with, like any other business, small business owners need to know not only the cost of starting a business, but the cost associated with staying in business. I must stress that it's important to realize that many businesses take at least a year or two to become profitable or even stabilized. And this means you need enough funds or working capital to cover all costs until sales can eventually pay for these costs. The business does not operate in a vacuum, right? There is always the likelihood of the unexpected happening, as is true in life as well. Like maybe a lucrative opportunity may present itself. Sometimes these opportunities has the potential to take your business to the next level. Or maybe you can have a project that need immediate cash injection to keep that project going. So when these events occur, what option does a self-employed person or gig worker have? Well, let's see. I had a look at some of the requirements of some popular lending institutions just to get a sense of what a self-employed person or a gig worker was coming up against. And this is what I came up with. Biz to Credit. Their requirements are 12-month time in business, 10K monthly revenue, a minimum credit score of 580. Then there's Cabbage. Cabbage also require a 12-month time in business. They require a monthly revenue of 3K or more, and their minimum credit score is 640. Then I looked at Fundera by NerdWallet. They require 12-month time in business, a 15K in monthly revenue, and their minimum credit score is 580. And then there's Lendio. They also require a 12-month time in business, monthly revenue of 20K, and a minimum credit score of 600. And last but not least, Fora Financial. They require a 6-month time in business, a 12K monthly revenue, and a minimum credit score of 500. So with the exception of Cabbage Funding and most lending institutions, they require a 10K per month in revenue. They need a 500 credit score, and except for Fora, a business has to be at least 12 months in business to access their funds. Now, why is this so important? Well, I'll tell you. Interestingly, statistics show that in the US, the business failure rate within the first year is between 18.4 to 20%. So, you draw your own conclusions. Now, is there any hope for funding for a gig worker or a self-employed person? Well, of course there is. I wouldn't come on here without a solution. There is a company called David Allen Capital. And I know this because I have had an occasion to work with them. I even promote their services, and this is why their requirements are not as rigid and are more designed for the gig worker or the self-employed person. Here, let me show you. They have two options, by the way. The first option, the time in business is just 6 months. The revenue is 3,000 plus. The minimum credit score is 450. Their personal or business bank account has to be set up, and online banking has to be set up. Their second option, that requires you to have 6 months plus in business, a monthly revenue of of $5,000 or more, a minimum credit score of 450, and a business bank account with online banking set up. So as you can see, David Allen Capital, their revenue-based funding option is designed to assist small businesses and gig workers to succeed. I must stress, however, that it's important to business owners to understand that most lenders need to see that businesses have a sufficient cash flow, right? A stable injection of revenue. And even if there are fluctuations, lenders are looking for an upward trend. They also want to see a decent credit score with a good history of paying debts. In some instances, lenders might also look to see if an applicant has cash reserves that they can use to pay their bills when income might be lower. So these are some of the things that we can think about when we're going to approach a lending institution for money. And as you can see, David Allen Capital is such an institution. So in conclusion, lack of funding may not be the only reason why a small business fails, but thanks to David Allen Capital, it should not be one of them. I will include a link below so that you can look at their funding options and see if it's a good fit for your business. So I'll leave you for now, but for now, please remember that our rewards in life are always equal to our service. So let's continue to serve, to work, to build, to create, and remember, it's your startup. Bye.